All right, we're back. All right, so this is match 2 of Shresh versus Zuivel. All right. Oh, let's wait for it to pop up.
Yeah, are we back?
Just a moment.
Yeah, we might need your energy again.
Oh, that's one. Okay.
Anticipation. I can't handle it. Oh. Hey.
There we go. Knew you could do it. All right. Okay. All right. So both runners, are you on the one click away from starting the game? And then I'm gonna do on my countdown. All right. So I'll go 3, 2, 1, go, and on go. You guys will go. So 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
Right.
Fortunately, we were able to resolve any technical difficulties relatively smoothly. It was all good. And we're back at it, ready to see who wins the race to the first door split again.
Yeah, as we've learned, many dangerous things can happen in the split, like putting to desktop, among other things.
Yeah, Shresh, bucking the trend, winning despite not getting that first door split advantage.
Yeah, we had desktop quit-outs on both sides last run.
That's true.
This is just the warm-up run, right?
Yeah. These runners are wide awake now. Zuivel has digested dinner and is no longer in a food coma. Shresh, no longer bleary-eyed from just rolling out of bed. So we're in for an intense match here, I'm sure. Both runners at their peak.
Looks like Zuivel got to the door first.
We'll see how much some of those mistakes from last run weigh on the minds of these runners as we approach these those sections again this time around. Might see them opt for some slightly safer approaches to some of these encounters.
The runner's making very quick work of demonic forest spirits. Taking damage against DFS just always feels really bad.
Yeah.
You have to carry it through the rest of the section and into the guarding of the door if you don't heal anywhere. Shresh opting to use the bow on the first switch, which I know is something he's been talking about. I mean, I prefer it just because I find it comfier, but it's like milliseconds either way. I don't know if it even is faster.
Yeah, it's another one of those what's comfy is best. For me, I like spacing the rolls so that at the end of my third roll, I'm right there. I just buffer the slash during the roll, and then I buffer another roll out of the slash, and it works just as well, I think. Shresh gets solid first imp location there, but misses one of the shots, so loses a bit of time. Shresh opts to run really close to this left side, and so does Zuivel, and they both make very quick work of that section. That section can cost a lot of time, but they both do a good job. Extremely clean start here for both runners.
Yeah.
Both sub 240, I believe, on the key pickup.
Yeah, those were really good enemy placements for both of them. Let's see if any of them can keep their back alive this time.
Yeah, Shresh's is in an awkward spot, so it's probably going to end up killing it. Yeah. You can avoid killing it, but you kind of have to go out of your way. And so you do lose back some of the time you gain from even getting the mana off it in the first place. Has some really fortunate imp spawns there, though, which kind of get that time back. It's actually quite nice. Both the imps, they can choose to either circle toward the center right away or toward the edges of the arena. Obviously, the edges of the arena are slower because they're spread apart and you can't slash them. You have to shoot them.
Cleanup though by both runners at the end there.
Yep. Zuivel with a little bit of a lead here, but it's only a few seconds. Visually, Shresh is ahead, but the Shresh's timer is a little further along. Gets on the ladder, 354, Zuivel 350.
You that was opting to go down the stairs there instead of rolling off the edge.
Yeah. From what I can recall, both options relatively similarly fast.
Yeah.
I've recently started rolling off the edge only because it allows me to just hold a comfier analog stick angle. Is really all it is. You can just hold a straight angle for that entire section.
Yeah, I was toying with like going down the stairs just because it sort of felt a little bit comfier. Again, it's like not really a big deal either way, but
again, it's always fun when the runners can have a little bit of expression and go a little bit custom with how they want to approach things. Never want things to be too formulaic all the way through.
both runners just in sync doing this arena.
They're
Both
doing a
very
great
clean so
job.
far.
See how these deflects go, though. Nice. That can be a make or break moment. They both nail it. Shresh opting to shoot 3 shots at the far grunt there while Zuivel does a roll slash. Zuivel on a great pace here, 520 at the ladder. Shresh was at about 525, so Zuivel maintained the lead through that second arena.
Yeah, did that just as perfectly as you could, basically. And you love to see the video sync, even if the timers aren't quite matching up.
I think Zuivel actually went for the extra heavy there. No, missed a light though, so it's going to be about the same as if Zuivel went for the 3 lights.
Shresh getting hit by the laser. Looks like Zuivel managed to avoid it. But still, very clean from
that
both
might
of them.
be a gold for Zuivel. I'm not sure what Zuivel's gold is, but that was a 610 Guardian. It's extremely fast.
That was very quick.
This soul is one I've been toying with the idea of trying to route out for a little while. The only problem with it's kind of weird. So it's the slowest soul we collect in this early game section, but it does open that shortcut for later in the run for Grey Throw, which saves about 2 seconds back on that split later.
Sure.
So it ends up being about equivalent to the Archer soul in estate time-wise to grab it when you factor in that time save later on. So I don't know. But I do wish that we could just not get that soul instead.
Yeah, the soul routing's just super interesting. And yeah, it helps to have like, I don't know, new runners have look at it. Like it's nice to see some new runners because yeah, you just like, it's very easy to just sort of autopilot and not really think about it, but new eyes can often just like catch, like see new things, new ideas very easily.
Yeah, that's why it's so important to get new runners into the scene as much as possible. And been so thankful both for for how many people picked up this game from the Hollow Knight community. A lot of the runners in this tournament came from the Hollow Knight community, as well as just like this tournament making more people get into the game. Because more runners always just means a more optimized speed run and a more fun time. Sharing your accomplishments with a larger group of people who are all doing the same thing.
I was going to say Zuiivel didn't save quit here. He must be doing pothead skip, but he's just at full health, so that makes sense.
Yeah, another interesting early game soul that looks like it's an option, you can actually see during that Grey Crow cutscene, which is, it's on a little ledge. It's just to the left after you exit from getting the key there, after the Grey Crow cutscene. You have to go through a really long cave, and it's actually like one of the slowest souls to get in in the entire game. It doesn't seem like it would be, but it's just such a long path, and you have to climb a ladder. It's like 22 seconds. I wish there were a way we could get up there faster, because that would save so much time, but it's just doesn't seem like it's ever going to happen. Clean shots at the start here for both runners. He's Zuiivel again, taking that outside path. Shresh taking the inside lane. Ooh. Left the orb behind. Always, one of the things about this game that can definitely frustrate you is there is no feedback at all when you press the interact button.
Yeah.
There's no rumble on the controller, there's no flash on the screen. So you just have to trust that you pressed it at the right time.
Zuiivel getting first try pothead skip, the roll, everything. Shresh having a little bit of problems.
Yeah, Zuiivel ends up killing killing the archer there before the mage on the right side. Just taking a little extra time to take care of that. The extra soul is not really too big a deal. Like it can be helpful, so not too slow. One thing that did slow down that right side a little bit is Zuiivel did aggro both mages at the same time, and then have to melee down one of them. Wasn't able to get that deflect on both.
Yeah, Shresh still having some trouble with pothead skip the second time too. So losing a little bit of time, but gets through it. Onto the right side.
Zuiivel misses one shot, but lands the other two on a great pace here. Just really doing an excellent job. It's a full off the mage.
Pretty clean right side from Shresh.
Yep, looking good. And always nice to get out of there with full HP.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Zuiivel opts to just shoot one of the purple pots. And Zuiivel at 903 soul here, so has enough, just has to go get the orb from the archers. While Shresh at 998, so we'll have to kill something else in order to have enough soul. We'll probably end up killing this grunt later on. Actually, he's going to kill the grunt here.
Ooh.
Oh, it's hit during the cutscene. Almost gets it again.
Time stops during cutscenes, except for projectiles.
Yep. It's one of those little things about this game that just makes it that little extra bit harder. I don't know. I enjoy it. I know it annoys a lot of people, but I kind of think
yeah,
it's like
whatever.
Oh, Shresh just cannot hit that purple pot. That is again alongside that that shot in Lockstone I was talking about in the last match between these two. That is one of the hardest shots in the game to actually hit.
Yeah. It's very weird. I will always get closer to it before shooting it because it's just I don't know what's up with the auto aim on it, but it tends to not cooperate.
Yeah, the auto aim in this game is it's just really bizarre. I don't know. I think we all wish we had a slightly better understanding of it. You get a good feel for it after just playing the game for a really long time, but it would be really nice to know exactly what's going on under the hood. And Shresh enters Manor here at 1251. So definitely a good ways behind Zuiivel here. Maybe like 20 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
20, 30 seconds. Zuiivel is just ripping through the early game here.
Ooh. Almost got that mage with the explosion, but not quite.
Yep, kills it right on spawn. Yeah, if you don't get it right away, that's basically the second best thing. Kills it right away and gets the gate before it opens, so it doesn't actually cost time. Doesn't get the tech skip.
Yeah, it's always a sad ground pound when it happens.
Yeah, that's a for that seed I always do slash then roll, rather than roll then slash for that reason. Trash opts for the light deflect on the mage there, so has to shoot 3 arrows, and now is low, so has to get some mana from the pots. Doesn't cost that much time, it's a fraction of a second. Let's see if Zuiivel has a better time with this web burn this time. Oh, that was beautiful.
Yep.
Beautiful, beautiful. Zuiivel is doing a phenomenal job here.
Yeah, just zooming.
That full deflect again into the roll slash. A little camera shake while on the on the ladder. You know, sometimes you get those aggravated camera shakes when you mess up, and sometimes you get those excited camera shakes when things go well.
Fresh also getting the the torch.
Yeah, but the bad roll there.
Falls off.
Oh, there's
a camera shake.
As if on cue. Thanks, Shresh, for showing us.
Nope. Zuiivel once again opting to just beat up all the pots one by one, which is totally fine.
Yep. Nice quick shots here for the key puzzle. Probably gonna grab this seed and then head on over to Big Pot. Now, Big Pot kind of bullied Zuiivel last time, so we'll see. Maybe Zuiivel will have a bit more luck. Starts with a heavy. Ooh, and doesn't bait into the corner, so yeah, this is going to be a little sketchy. Probably going to end up being a 2-cycle. Never want to burn all these arrows here either, because you really want to have full mana when you hit the top of the stairs. So Zuiivel, once again, is going to enter Imploft here with no mana, and be forced to find some imps to kill in order to light these braziers.
Tresha also running out of mana while picking off the small pots. Has to hit a few extra ones.
Zuiivel opts for the safety light there, just goes for the direct line up rather than trying to do the skip. Does get the skip there. Oh, unfortunate. Yeah, so you kind of have to you kind of have to play with the auto aim there on the arrow across to the ladder, because you kind of have to thread the needle between all those grunts, and it can be easy for the auto aim to decide to lock onto the grunts instead. So I find myself always kind of giving the analog stick a bit of a wiggle to get it in, like situated right before before letting that shot go.
Yeah, because when you hit the grunt there, then they all wake up and.
Yeah, you can, if you recognize it fast enough, you can squeeze a second shot in between them before they merge, but it's tough. And you also have to deal with the imps that are likely trying to smack you. Imploft it's a hell of a room.
Shresh making up some time there. He had a very good big pot, very clean Imploft too.
Yeah, this has definitely gotten a lot tighter. Zuiivel goes for the arrow on that pot there. It's another similar situation to that to the first switch in Cemetery. Some runners shoot it, some slash it. Very similar. Fairly clean little room here before Soul 3 for Zuiivel.
Now let's see if the grunts decide to play nice.
Yeah, last time both runners had really nice patterns here. The Lickitung again gives Shresh a good, or gives Zuiivel a good pattern. We'll probably, yeah, clean this up very nicely.
Yeah, very nice.
Shresh having a little bit more trouble with these grunts than Zuiivel did. The pots don't quite align with where the grunts walk. Zuiivel gets that save and quit at 8:22, so we'll try and track where Shresh quits out so we can give you an idea of the difference between these two runners. Shresh gets a nice kill on the Lickitung, but unfortunately one of the grunts does respawn. Ends up not really costing time because ends up killing it at the same time as the other grunt anyway, and that grunt does give you extra soul, so in a way it's not the worst thing ever to get that extra spawn.
So it's 18:33 getting the crow for Shresh, so about 11 or 12 seconds behind.
The save and quit is at 18:40, so it's about 18 seconds difference.
Okay.
18 seconds difference between the runners. Zuiivel still with a little bit of a lead.
Zuiivel not falling off any edges this time. I'd love to see it.
Yep.
Shresh hot on his heels.
Zuiivel got a good pattern there, but didn't quite take full advantage of it. Still manages to kill that Lickitung and a mage on that cycle, which is good. You know, obviously, ideally you would kill both mages there, but it's pretty difficult to land that cycle. Getting one mage and then only needing to clean the remaining one there is perfectly fast. And Zuiivel again on great pace here.
Something Zuiivel just did, and something I'm guilty of too, is when there's the one mage, I tend to like walk into the center of the arena for no particular reason, which like isn't a good idea because it can mean the mage can just spawn farther away from the ladder.
Yeah, ideally you manipulate that spawn by walking into the corner. Like to walk into the right side corner by the web on the wall, usually. Yeah, Zuiivel definitely on a hell of a pace here. I believe PV Fireball split for Zuiivel is 23:07, and this is on pace to definitely be faster than that, with a good Avarice here. Interesting. Zuiivel opts to kill the left side enemies first, and then kill the full health pot after. All works out. Looked pretty fast to me.
Deflecting to the mage early, which is interesting, because you typically want to farm it for soul. He has just enough here, but...
Yeah. It is funny, that was the classic Hollow Knight-ism of referring to the mana as soul, which I think I and many other runners do all the time, even though soul is a completely separate resource in this game.
Yeah, it's like, the two games both have soul, and they're both something completely different.
Yeah.
Which is pretty great.
I should just do with this game what I do with every other game and just refer to the money as dollars. That's what I should do.
Really good Avo 1 from Zui.
Yep. And Shresh is having a good time so far as well. But yeah, Zui on PB pace here through Manor, which always feels good. Manor's a really tough segment, one of the hardest segments in the run actually, and it's quite early on, just to get everything really crisp.
Yeah, definitely just tons of places you can lose time.
So that's a 2230 fireball.
Not sure what happened to that projectile. Did it hit the small pot? On Shresh's side, I'm not sure exactly. He tried to do a fully charged heavy deflect on the green orb, but I'm not sure what it hit. It wasn't the Lickitung.
I wasn't watching. Sometimes deflecting into the Lickitung, especially like if you take the time for the full charge, you can end up in a weird positioning of the Lickitung where it actually collides with like one of the arms of the Lickitung rather than the tongue, and the damage dissipates.
Yeah.
I wasn't watching, but it's possible that that could be what happened. And Shresh with a 2247 fireball there. So again, maintaining about the same distance between the two runners. Zuiivel on a very comfy amount of soul here. Shresh again, grabbing the umbrella for swag.
Grab the umbrella.
Didn't actually use it at all last run, which is a crying shame. I mean, if you're gonna grab it.
Right. I just learned recently how you can, with the umbrella, do like roll slashes, or just like spamming roll slashes is just like as fast as just like rolling without doing anything with the sword. Because for whatever reason, the umbrella just has like really fast roll slashes, which is really fun, but doesn't really.
Yeah, the roll slash movement is super cool. It's actually one of the elements from the speedrun that I missed from my casual playthrough, because I actually did my casual as an umbrella playthrough.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, like that the roll heavy as a movement tech was super fun. Especially in combats, just like, you know, dodging and then coming back in with some damage. Very satisfying playstyle. Alright, let's see if Zuiivel can avoid getting cam locked this time. I believe was clapping into the transition yet again. Alright, no cam lock. Very good.
Yeah, I see someone asking in chat, and it doesn't say on this particular layout, but yeah, Shresh is up one game. This is race 2.
Oh yeah, I meant to mention that to production, so my bad for not bringing it up.
Shresh getting some spins and some claps and some camera shakes.
Yep. Zuiivel grabs the seed near the malformed seed shiny. You're opting to shoot an arrow at the bomb plant there rather than smack it. Can sometimes be a little faster, but it's a little bit more dangerous.
It's very scary. I used to do that until I realized I was just taking damage every single time.
Yeah. Me too. I should revisit that.
For whatever reason, just the like geometry of that one like flower that bites at you is just like terrible if you bow early.
Yeah, and if you try and dodge the damage, sometimes you won't make it close enough to the wall to break it. So it's
it's weird how it just like doesn't work out. Yeah, Shresh opting to just use his sword.
Yeah, there is a little bit of an extra nice thing about waiting a little bit longer, which is that it allows the grunts from the previous section to catch up to you, which is important when you need those grunts for the soul in order to make the breakpoint later in the run.
The dollars, you mean?
Yes, the dollars.
What happened to Zui there? You just got like boxed in by a grunt. Very strangely, I wasn't quite watching at the start of there.
I was watching Shresh at the time, unfortunately, so I don't know.
Just entering this arena, he just got like wedged into a corner and there was a grunt body blocking him. I'm not sure how it happened.
Was that putting? You said you saw what happened?
Yeah, you know, it's exactly what Upper said. Yeah, the grunt just boxed him in. He got hit.
So Shresh went for a mom skip, whereas Sui just went around. I'm not sure what happened last race, but either way, Shresh got the first try, so a little bit of time save there.
Yeah. Enemies in this game can choose to be incredibly rude. Where is Zui going? Zui forgetting where the vine is for a moment there. There is another vine on that left side if you go all the way to the other corner, but it's just further away and does not help you in any way progress through the area. Again. Oh god, Shresh!
Yeah, I think Zui. I was watching Zui's stream just recently, and Zui was saying that he had just realized that there was a second vine.
Okay.
Like up till now, he had been using the farther away vine.
Yeah, then that makes total sense to be making that mistake. It's an easy one to make for sure.
Yeah, I definitely used that vine for a long time as well. As we said, this area is just like very long and windy and similar looking everywhere.
Zuivel wraps that arena up, killing the last enemy at 28-20. We'll see how Shresh does. I don't think Shresh even tried to dodge that hit there.
Yeah, it just
ultimately
doesn't matter
the
at
damage
all.
here doesn't matter, so you just want to make sure you actually kill the enemies. It's the most important thing.
Nice deflect on the flower.
Got Mom jamming out on the right. So Shresh gets through that at about 28-31, 28-32. So made up some time for sure. Only 11 or 12 seconds behind Zuivel now.
Yeah, interesting. Shresh chooses to beat up the very low enemy that spawns the very final one with the sword. I think he did that last run too. And I mean, yeah, you were pointing out that it's kind of tricky to get that one to come over. Shresh just deciding to not even deal with it and just commit to using the sword, which is completely reasonable.
Yep, totally fair. Both runners here will grab this Strength 3 upgrade before going into dungeon to, it's mostly for the Hammer Bros. It makes the Hammer Bro take fewer cycles to kill. It also actually makes it take one less hit to break the shield, which is kind of interesting.
Does it?
I believe so, if I remember correctly. It's been a long time.
I thought the shields had 2 HP, but I could be wrong, or it could be that shields are weird or something
It has
too.
3. I'm looking at the
does it?
spreadsheet right now. It has 3.
Oh,
Yeah.
All right.
So kind of an interesting choice to try for an optimization that I might actually look at is like taking less hits to break the shield could actually be advantageous. But then obviously you do take more damage to kill them in general as well. I don't know.
So Zuivel entering the gauntlet of crow arenas in this dungeon. There are just no save and quits in this dungeon whatsoever, so...
Yeah, a lot of runs die here. But this is a race, so they can't afford to have the run die. They've gotta find a way.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting how, like, Dungeon 1 and Dungeon 3, it's almost entirely save quits after each crow, and then Dungeon 2 is just none.
Yeah, the layout of this place, they decided to just add a whole bunch of shortcuts to a hub near the main door. So there's a whole bunch of levers you can pull to activate shortcuts to quickly get between each area. But they're slow, so we're not going to see any of that.
So Zuivel doing 2 rolls there and getting the early torches this time around.
Nice. Ooh. Shresh almost actually turns that into a really sweet cleanup. Does end up getting hit there, but still quite good. Meanwhile, Zui dealing with the hammer bro very nicely.
Yeah, so Zui's still just completely zooming. Gets through the first 2 arenas without any damage at all. great to see.
I didn't keep as close an eye on Shresh's soul count, so I'm kind of curious how Shresh is doing. Shresh, ooh, going for this again. Yeah, I would definitely just give up. I would just do this the normal way at this stage. Shresh, though, not a quitter. Gets it done.
Didn't you do like 6 attempts at like mom skip in our race?
I absolutely did, and you know what? I nailed it. Absolutely got there. We actually still haven't done the checking to see how many times you can fail it before you're losing time versus someone going around.
No one's actually timed it.
No one's timed it. Might use that race to time it. Use that clip. Take a look. Anyway, Shresh having a bit of a bad time in that arena, but gets through it, is going to be able to heal here and be just fine. Meanwhile, Zuiivel, exiting this arena here, missing 1 HP. I believe last time had the same situation and decided to heal before Crow 4, so we'll likely see that again.
Yeah, he definitely didn't have the easiest Crow 4 arena, even with full health, so we'll see what he decides to do. Yeah, takes the heal, which is, again, totally reasonable. Crow 4 is not one you want to mess around with.
That heal costs, well, it costs a seed, but it costs about 4 seconds to heal. It's not very long. So, in a race.
It's a lot shorter than the death.
Oh, yeah. Spiders are reasonably cooperative there for Shresh on that last wave. Ooh, nice mage spawns there for Zuiivel.
Mm-hmm.
Opting to kill this right side grunt first. I think with that setup, it actually might have been faster for Zuiivel to try and roll slash both those archers, but
Yeah.
gets the job done.
Yeah.
Again, going into this corner. This is so spooky. I used to do this, and I don't do it anymore because it's terrifying.
I mean,
I don't think it's faster.
Both of them, both of the Hammer Bros are in like really awkward spots, right? One is just on the bridge, and one is in that corner.
Yeah.
They're both kind of rude to have to deal with.
We'll see again. Zuiivel gets this quit out at 35-13, so we'll see if Shresh gained any ground here in this dungeon.
Yeah, Shresh is a slightly non-standard thing for this arena as well, but using the bow on the grunts rather than fireballs on the archers.
Yeah, this arena's been through a lot of strat changing, and I imagine there's still room for more. A very fun one to try to optimize. Zuiivel entering at the 2 here. Shresh about 10 seconds behind still. Saved a second or two during dungeon. Nice job there on that first wave by Zuiivel, not taking any damage, killing everything pretty smoothly.
Yeah, Zuiivel demonstrated something there which has baffled me, but if you do a fully charged heavy on 2 enemies, it deals like slightly less damage to the second one.
Yes, so your fully charged heavy damage, that multiplier is only applied to one of the enemies that you hit with the fully charged heavy. Every other enemy that is hit with the heavy takes the normal heavy damage.
Yeah,
don't know why, but that is how it
noticed.
works. That is why you will very rarely see fully charged heavies used in the speedrun. It seems like it could be a really good way to deal with multiple enemies at once, but unfortunately, since the damage only goes on one target, it gets kind of impractical. Very nice job by Zuiivel there in that Avarice, though. Super clean. Zuiivel, I think about 45 seconds ahead of his PB here, exiting that split, so yeah, just can't say enough just how good this pace is from Zuiivel. Shresh has a lot of trouble spotting that projectile through the green fog, ends up not getting the deflect.
I think he took damage from the fog, like right when he wanted to deflect.
Oh, and it canceled the charge up?
Something. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah,
like it doesn't
too.
actually cancel your charge up though. There's like a small window where you're like can't move or whatever, but the way that interaction works is very odd and doesn't come up very much. But that happened to me recently where yeah, I was standing in the fog and then like was still able to deflect even after taking damage, but it's weird and confusing and not intuitive.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, Shresh gets through without too much problem.
Yep. Kind of interesting that Zuiivel doesn't go for that that seed there. The ladders on the way here to Stranded Sailor. Only costs about 2 rolls. And Zuiivel did use a couple seeds, so could probably use it.
Did he? I feel like he has.
Used one after Pro Soul 3. I think has 2 right now. I think.
I feel like he might have 3. I don't know. Yeah, we'll see, I guess. But yeah, he didn't have any issues with running out of seeds last run, certainly. So we'll see how it goes.
True enough.
But yeah, seed routing is like interesting, and it's like also interesting how it, I guess, like changes as you get better and you like start realizing that you can leave some out or whatever, or sometimes you're just like still getting extra seeds even though you don't need them anymore. Something you need to constantly pay attention to, I guess.
Zuiivel had a really awkward angle there, was really far to the left at the top of that ramp, and so in order to avoid hitting himself, shot the bomb more directly up and unfortunately whiffed the bomb wall, so had to shoot it again after the dialogue, which costs the amount of time it costs to charge up the bomb plus the 1 extra text box you have to get because you miss it. It's a little extra shame.
And Barb doesn't call you a legend, which is the real downside there. Although I suppose I'm not sure either of the runners can read it at this point.
Yeah,
anyway.
I don't think so either. So I don't think either runner went for diagram strats here. So
Yeah, not for
again.
one.
Nice and safe. Ooh, okay. Safe-ish. It's slightly sketchy. Gets through though. Nice. Zuiivel gets the 2 hits before the first roll.
Yeah, it's a very tight window to get the 2 slashes in.
It's one of those things where the reward is not that great and the risk is relatively high, but you can make it consistent, and so the urge is always there to go for it.
Mm-hmm.
Zuiivel does take a damage, will probably save and quit, as is custom. The save and quit here, for the record, costs 2 seconds. Shresh falling during that platforming section.
Yeah, cut the corner a little tight there. Now we'll only have 3 HP for this arena.
Thresh doing a good job on the halberd there. We'll see if Zuiivel can get the ladder climb during the cutscene here. Looks like not. Just commits really hard to going down and making sure the shot lands on the brazier. Can't really blame him for that. That's definitely one where the corner can block your shot, and it's quite sad when it happens. So.
Well, Shresh getting through arena 1 damage less, so probably not saving and quitting, because he didn't last time.
Yeah, Zuiivel not going for bomb strats here, just lets the mage respawn, takes care of it. Nice job on this wave. Unfortunately, the mage does spawn over the ledge, so has to deflect, but gets through that without a hitch. Rolls a little close to the hammer bro there. It's always a risk. But quite clean. Shresh does get the ladder climb. Goes into this arena with 3 HP. Zuiivel did only have 1, so I'm 2 now.
Fair enough. I was gonna say, Arena 2 is probably one of the, I guess, easier ones once you learn the fast strat. It's like very consistent.
Yeah, this definitely used to kill a lot of runs before bomb strats, particularly before bomb strats for the Golden Hammer Bro. But also just before bomb strats in general, because you would end up kind of chasing mages around. You'd end up on the right, far, like bottom right a lot of the time, and then the elite archer would get to actually have a chance to become a nuisance. And that's pretty scary. It's definitely 2 of the scariest casual enemies in the game, the elite archer and the gold hammer bro.
So Zuiivel, of course, picking up the extra seed in the previous puzzle room. So now up to 3.
Yep. Zuiivel, unfortunately, we forgot to tell Zuiivel about your attack here, so gonna lose this time again. Nice job on wave 1. Yeah, so if you're wondering what's going on with the backpacks and you're not a runner of this game, it's interesting. If you are far away from them when they spawn in, then they stay facing you. But if you're close, they actually turn around and face their backpack towards you, and you can't actually hit their bodies through the backpack. So that's what you saw Zuiivel try to do there, was stay far enough away to roll slash in a little bit after the spawn to get the quick kill. But unfortunately, it was a little too close and ended up having to hit the backpack and then...
And the backpack has like twice as much health, and
yeah.
So yeah, Shresh keeping his distance keeps the backpack facing him and is able to just roll slash it down.
Yeah. And good for Zui here. Remembers to go get the key this time. Pretty important.
Ooh.
That roll through the laser was spicy.
Yeah.
I like it, but I definitely would never do it. It's important to note, if you get hit during that puzzle, it resets it. So rolling through that laser as it spawned, incredibly dangerous. Wouldn't have been the end of the world, but definitely would have cost some time as we got hit there.
So as we open that key door at 45:45, see where Shresh is at.
I have to imagine Shresh has made up a good chunk of time here.
And so he opting to deal with the halberd first, which is, I think, maybe like potentially a little bit slower if the mage decides to spawn really far away. But
yeah, also went for some interesting wave 1 strats. Definitely not doing the Comsob strats for this arena.
So Shresh opened the door at like 45-28 or so.
Yeah, so Shresh is going to come out of here pretty ahead because Shresh also does do the fastest strats for this arena, and they're not that difficult, so Shresh should be able to comfortably take care of the arena and come out ahead.
So yeah, Shresh pulling a little bit ahead in the race, but Zui is still on a heck of a pace.
Definitely. We'll see. I didn't pay close enough attention last race. I'm curious if both these runners know the correct strat for the start of this arena.
Yeah, surrounding strats.
Yes. Namely, not starting off the fight on the Flame Mage with a heavy or roll slash, but rather starting with lights. Nope, Zui does not know. But just goes for a light, heavy. It's kind of the same thing. It's just a little bit more risky because the grunts get a little closer to you.
Yeah, it's not a huge deal either way, but yeah, it's interesting that heavy lights, or rather, heavy lights kills them, but doing it in the other order does not. Did I get that right, or did I say that backwards?
You said it backwards. So light, heavy kills, but heavy, light does not kill.
Which makes little sense.
We get in a little bit of trouble with the slimes and the green pots, but nothing too bad. And should be able to comfortably do left butt cheek strats here for the Smo. Nicely done. I don't know what Shresh just did for the mage, but that was kind of wacky.
Yeah, these, sure.
I mean, you can do whatever you want. You have to wait for the grunts to spawn in anyway.
I only learned
a weird
that
one.
surrounding thing when you did comms. The last time you did comms. Before that, I was doing heavy light roll slash, which was
Yeah, I used to do that too. I only discovered it when I was trying to lab out slightly faster strats for the arena fairly recently. Zuiivel not death warping here. Very interesting.
Did he last run?
I'm not sure. I don't
Yeah,
remember.
he didn't death warp. He also
He shot last time too. Oh.
I wonder if it's just a familiarity thing. Maybe he never did it in practice, and so isn't feeling like confident that it's going to work.
Yeah, just doesn't know about it or doesn't. Yeah. Because yeah, it was like only fairly recently became
Became the meta strat, yeah.
the community really knew about.
Zuiivel is still ahead of PB pace here, by the way. Still just like on an excellent run.
Shresh mixing it up again and doing two dives to Grand Slams.
Probably just like
not
me.
sure which is faster, so it's just mixing it up.
Exactly. Probably just like me, gonna analyze that footage later. Oh, Zuiivel. I don't even know what happened there.
He just walked off. He like swung his sword and then missed the switch and then walked off.
That's
Unfortunate.
honestly impressive to miss that slat. Like,
Yeah,
that's
that was actually a crazy angle.
that's wild. Because you have to be holding like the right angle to hit the thing to climb up the ladder. So it's crazy that missed. Pretty unfortunate way to lose some time. Ultimately, not too bad though. Still going to be on good pace here. I did notice that Zuiivel doesn't do the hook shot to the switch in that room though, whereas Shresh does. The very first switch.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like not super intuitive that the switches are hookshotable, particularly like for newer runners. But that's where like a lot of hookshots are that can save time. Like in what's the area after this?
Yeah. In watchtowers, in particular, because the switches are in the ground, you definitely wouldn't think they're hookshotable because they're not popped up. but you can still hookshot them even though they're in the ground, and yeah, it does save quite a bit of time. Zuiivel opting not to get the extra mana from hitting the switch there.
Yeah,
Bold
we
move.
didn't do it last run either. It's not a huge deal, but free soul, might as well grab it. And again, doing his weird diagonal strats, which are pretty cool actually. So
On the watch.
just
Ooh, that angle was not good. Yeah, gonna have to do that again. There you go.
nope.
That one did it. That one did it. Is going to have to collect mana now though from the last room, which wouldn't have had to.
That's why you hit that switch.
That's why you hit the
you're waiting for the
switch.
platform to go up anyway, so it's totally free to hit. Get some soul back.
I don't know if I want to classify that as a comms curse, but definitely showing why you should hit that switch, because it doesn't cost you any time to hit it. You're waiting for the platform to rise anyway.
Quit out was at 52-15 from Zuiivel.
Yeah, I imagine Shresh is going to jump out to a bigger lead here. Bit of sloppy movement out of that room, but overall, this segment has been quite nice for Shresh.
Yeah. Yeah, the lack of death warp after Ava 3 and then falling off that first platform is probably going to cost him a fair bit of time. Yeah, 51-21 from Shresh.
We're opting to just roll down there. You can actually get an angle on that hookshot point if you roll kind of more upright.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little counterintuitive, but it does work out to be a little faster.
See if we get any blessings
Ooh,
from
nice. This
Nice
time
hook
Zuiivel
shot.
does, yeah, it does get the hook shot.
Oh, no arm day blessings though. Hate to see it.
I remember Shresh mentioning like he doesn't really get much like after the lighting up the torch and then save quitting out, doesn't get like the early control often. I wonder if there's, I think I get a lot of really often on any percent glitch, but I don't know if there's like something with NMG that's
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's possible there's a frame rate thing going on. It might just be a mashing speed thing, because it might just be like a very small frame window to get that roll in. I'm not sure, because I don't think I've ever had the early control without it starting with a roll, right? Like, I don't think I've ever just walked. I don't know about anyone else.
I definitely have. I legitimately don't press anything, and I try not to because it like feels better for me. But I like that's
Oh, so you just
completely
walk.
anecdotal.
And you get the early control? That's
Yeah.
interesting.
And then I roll. But
Okay.
yeah, I don't know that. Like I don't know anything about it either.
Yeah, it's very strange. It's definitely a mystery that we would love to solve. If anyone figures it out, please do post to the speedrun Discord, either in speed tech or speedrunning. It's significant. It saves 2 rolls every time you get it. It does seem like you never get it. I don't know what I was gonna say. There's there's a time, but it escaped my mind. I was watching
you never
that
get it when you're on
clean-
PB pace. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I was just watching that clean halberd kill from Zuiivel there.
Yeah, it was a good kill. Just on full health entering this arena. It's very comfy.
Nice. Sees the hammer raise. Doesn't get greedy. Really well done. Hopefully gets a good boomer cycle here. It doesn't quite look right, but might get it anyway. Nope. Unfortunate. Boomers are desynced here, so it'll take a little bit longer to kill them.
Yeah, you're the only runner that I know of that like purposely tries to manipulate those boomers to be in sync with each other. Which is obviously quite counterintuitive to like literally wait around and not go as fast as possible just to get the boomers in sync.
I gotta do more
Makes sense.
labbing on that so I can kind of get a more concrete set of rules for it rather than just going by feel. For sure. Both runners getting the boomers out of sync though.
But yeah, there was an example of Shresh hookshotting a switch that was in the ground, whereas Zuiivel actually just rolled over there.
Yep, and there's another one here, and this one's not only in the ground, but it's also behind a post. That's a switch that I literally couldn't have told you actually existed until I saw.
Yeah, no kidding.
I saw Lat do that hook shot, and I was like, oh, that's there. You can do that. That's crazy.
Zuiivel's still at full H. Or no, he's at 3. I thought he was at full still. Never mind. Taking the quick heal though, not a big deal.
Yeah, they both just got through the section, so I'm a little late to mention it, but there's actually, when you do those hook shots on the ice skating to those little hook shot points after the elevator, you can maintain a little bit of momentum out of the hook shot if you like hold like directly right. Sometimes you can kind of, you get this like glide effect to save a little bit of speed, which gets you around the hook shot point, which is super satisfying, super fun to do. This area feels so good when you get that. I don't know why, but it's just extremely satisfying.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm in the minority, but I quite enjoy the ice physics. It feels pretty fun to glide around on it. Obviously, combat on it is kind of awkward for sure, but
yeah, it definitely was a lot worse back when we didn't have right as set in stone strategies for Ice Arena in particular.
yeah.
Because just when you spam hookshot around, sometimes you end up at warp speed, and sometimes you just like stop dead in your tracks. It feels really weird.
Yeah, that's fair though.
But yeah, when you're just using heavies instead of the hookshot, it feels good. Anyways, Zuiivel getting through the arena, pretty comfy. Still has 3 HP.
Yeah, there's a really good watchtower in general.
Shresh has 1 health here. Gonna go for some safety strats with the bombs. Probably gonna farm some mana off the crystals and. Oh, okay. Very brave bomb there to finish the arena. Well done. Zuiivel going into Betty. Did Zuiivel heal?
I believe so.
Okay, yeah. I was gonna say very brave if Zuiivel didn't heal there.
I mean, 3 HP Betty's not the worst, in my opinion.
Yeah,
but,
yeah, for sure. But in a race, definitely can be scary.
It's also, again, it's like probably a pretty quick death if you do die, as deaths go in this game. It's like...
It's true. The only thing is, the fight gets a lot different.
That's true, yeah.
You don't have the cutscene.
Yeah.
It gets a lot harder to actually get the roll skip, so... You really do want to make sure you get that kill right away.
Yeah, so we still on a heck of a pace. Got well under 1 hour Betty, which is pretty darn impressive.
Yep, still on PB pace here for sure. Zuiivel enters this cutscene area at 59:44. We'll see when Shresh enters. I wish that we would modify the NMG rule set to allow Azumi in this area and this area only, just for the spinny bird in the cutscene. It's too cute.
I second that.
Shresh at a 58:40.
A minute, basically.
Yeah, about a minute ahead.
Minute 5.
Yeah, when doing unrestricted runs, I will often lose time repeatedly trying to get a Zumi into this cutscene just to have the Zumi into the cutscene because it's adorable.
I can't say no what you're talking about, but it sounds adorable.
Yeah, you're gonna have to watch an unrestricted run if you haven't. In fact, that goes for anyone watching this, because it's wild and also some stuff like that very funny.
We will be having a. Well, I'll try to host one for August. 90% glitched run or tournament. Sorry. So we look forward to that.
Yeah, it should be cool. Curious to see who comes back for that. I haven't decided yet myself whether I'm gonna practice up and enter. We'll see. It's somewhat far. It's like far enough away that I'm uncertain, basically.
Yep. So far I got Scrub Lord and Foxy like to sign up, so
Heck yeah.
looks pretty good.
Definitely a scary run to do in a race because there's just so many soft locks and
Just run
difficult
NMG,
tricks.
obviously. Shresh just deciding to beat up that plant first.
Getting some revenge, perhaps. Zuiivel opting to just do rolls over there instead of hookshotting to the switch.
Yeah, Zuiivel's been like skipping a lot of hook shots, honestly. Like at the start of the split, instead of hookshotting to like all the plants while walking through ruins, deciding to roll as well, which are just tiny little time saves that are obviously very easy to forget about or miss or whatever. But
It's
the joys of hookshot.
Enough of them definitely do add up, though.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, or you can miss the hookshot like Shresh just did, and then
Also true.
and then maybe they're equivalent. So
Sweet taking a little dunk there too.
wonder if we'll see a save and quit here after the cutscene. I think both runners got caught on the corner of the box. That box is especially rude. There's a lot of rude boxes, but that one might be the rudest box in the video game. There's no good reason for it being there. Oh, Zuiivel on 2 health now. Very spooky, and this archer is gonna backstab. Terrifying. So yeah, Zuiivel, we'll see. Maybe we'll decide to grab the heal at Mage Hook. Oh, should definitely decide to now. 1 HP.
Oh, I thought that archer was going to snipe him, but he fired into the wall instead. That was close.
Oh god, it's so scary. Flooded Fortress is, I think, the bane of every single Death's Door runner. There's just so many things that can go wrong. It's such a cluster. Just so many enemies.
Yeah, it's definitely scary.
And you cannot take the time to kill these enemies. It is way too slow. So you have to deal with this. Look at this barrage of arrows.
Yeah.
The mage coming in, the grunt, like
No, not fireball. There you go.
Boomer's making its way over. The Boomer starts throwing the boomerang in over there. It's such a mess.
But yeah, this was one of the areas when I like first started and first watched like a top tier speedrun. This area, it was just like, oh, like this is a thing that happens in this run.
Yeah.
There's wave after wave of enemies spawning, shooting at you.
The thing is, this area used to be slightly less scary in that you didn't have to deal with all these enemies when we did Mage Hook. but Mage Hook is RNG, and actually slightly slower than this strat, even if unless you get it very first try. So you could, for like quote unquote safety, go for Mage Hook, but then you're kind of rolling the dice on whether the position appears. And for those that don't know what Mage Hook is, there's a platform earlier on where that pot was that Zuiivel healed at, where you can get the mage to spawn across the water and then hit it with a projectile so it spins backwards across to a platform and then hookshot over to it as it spins away, but before it disappears. It's very tight positioning and requires that RNG of the mage spawning in the correct location. It is actually how you get through this area in the unrestricted speedrun, because the unrestricted run doesn't have bombs. And it's a thing. It's definitely a thing.
Thresh was got through that with 1 HP.
Yeah.
Has made it over here.
Zuiivel doesn't get the phase 1 full skip. Needs another jump there. See if Frog King's a little kinder to them this time around. I believe it was Shresh who had the pretty awkward Frog King last time, and it's like phase 1's not going so hot so far. Zuiivel seems on pace though, should be able to get this kill on left side. Oh. Just barely. Rush starts that charge a little too far away, doesn't get the damage. So definitely going to be a little tight to get the damage needed to skip that jump. Also, unfortunately, doesn't have any of the platforms pre-broken on that left side for the self bomb, so can't really rely on that extra damage either. Is really going to have to just hope to get good damage cycles here, and kind of like Zui did, get some of that extra damage after the hop up, but before the hop across. Doesn't quite get it, so we'll have to lose a little bit of time. Not too much though. Gets the kill with the fireballs, doesn't have to wait for the turnaround. Here we go, both runners on the way to observation.
Yeah, Shresh has finally caught up with, like, on camera with his timer deficit. So our runners are like almost in sync now, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, both runners missed this this first roll skip once each last time. Sweet hits it first try this time around. Doesn't have the hook shot out, goes for this seed.
Yeah, that roll skip is like easier than it looks. There's like a big invisible wall there that sort of keeps you on the railing. So it's not too bad to just sort of YOLO roll as hard as you can over there.
Always fun to do those rolls along the conveyor belt. Just zoom in.
Just go very fast.
Now let's see if Shresh can get the roll skip, and also see if Zuiivel can get the early furnace light. Zuiivel does get it this time. Shresh unfortunately misses the roll skip, has to try again. Gets it on the second attempt, just like last time. But unlike Zuiivel, goes for these hook shots, which do save, honestly, a substantial amount of time.
So I see a lot of runners. Sui just did it where they go to like the right side of the room before shooting the fireball into the furnace. But I don't know. In my experience, you really don't have to go up there at all. I've never like hit the table or anything of the sort.
I can
don't
confirm that just yesterday I hit the very corner by going down the middle, so there's definitely a little bit of a risk. It's definitely easier to hit the shot from the right side. But yeah, you can absolutely just hit it from the middle and save that little bit of time. Nice furnace light from Zuiivel there. Unfortunately, a little slow for the cycle. Doesn't end up on the pistons there.
Yeah, those pistons, regardless of when you light the furnace, are moving up and down on a global cycle, essentially. So sometimes you can light the furnace and they just immediately shoot up, and sometimes you have a bit of time to get over there.
Yep, similar deal with this, with all the pistons here, but also that one at the very end of that arena. It's actually pretty hard to align finishing that arena with getting up on that piston if you're having an optimal combat. It's one of the things that I would like to work on and see if maybe there's a way to delay that combat just enough to make that piston cycle a little better. But... Zuiivel!
No.
You gotta look before you leap. That's so unfortunate.
Yeah.
So, if anyone didn't see what happened there on Zuiivel's side, shot the fireball at the furnace, trying to light it and then go across, but the fireball did not hit the inside of the furnace. Rolled off immediately, and there's nothing you can do but run all the way back around here. Fortunately, you don't have to go through the little arena area that Shresh is in right now, but still, very big time loss. Very unfortunate. Oh, getting bullied by the spinning pot there too. Insult to injury. Right, that time it lights. And now they're going to be visually on screen, pretty synced up here.
Can you hookshot that big slime from there?
I don't
Or
know.
was that accidental? I could see that working. Wow, that was
Zuiivel.
Zuiivel doing a
with our
ground
hearts a
pound
little
and
bit.
landing on the platform.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I was wondering if he was going to heal or take a save quit after lighting that furnace right next to the door.
I think
2 HP is like not too rough for this section.
there's a pot over here.
Yeah, that's
Might
true,
choose to
yeah.
heal at it. Opts not to. Maybe trying to save the PV pace. I'm not quite sure what the pace looks like after that earlier mistake. It's possible that this could still be PV pace.
I feel like it probably is, but I actually, that's just like, I have no evidence to back up that assertion. It just feels like he has been executing very well.
I think it's close.
Yeah.
Both runners doing a great job there on that conveyor belt cycle. Oh, Shresh almost rolling off the corner as I say that.
Zuiivel out of mana again. But yeah, I guess I feel like Zuivel's Betty kill time was similar to my like 121 Betty kill time. Or, it wasn't a 121, was it? It was like a 122 something. But yeah, which is like 2 minutes ahead of his 124, but I don't know what his late game looks like or anything like that.
And Shresh decides to heal with this pot. Enters Grandma at 111.51. Zuiivel at 114.04, but is going to have to save and quit to heal. So, about a 2-minute difference between the runners now. Shresh, guns blazing in the late game here. Doing an incredible job. Pulling ahead. Enma's a very interesting fight. It's not one that people really talk about that much, but getting the optimal damage cycle on Grandma is actually incredibly difficult. You can kill Grandma before she jumps into the pot here, but you need really, really clean execution. I've only done it, I think, a handful of times in runs. Oh, Shresh getting into the danger zone there for a moment. Does clean it up though.
So
Zuiivel
yeah,
not too
I
far
just
behind.
looked at Zuivel's PB, and Zuivel's PB has a grandma kill at 115.04, and he just got like a 115.08 or something. So
Yeah, very
very
close.
Zuivel typing in chat, that was very infuriating.
I can imagine.
It's understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think auto aim betrayed him.
Yeah, those furnaces, the hitbox is just oddly strict. Like you can look at it in debug mod, and it's just like there's like just this little like blue sphere inside of the furnace that you have to hit. I feel like it would have made sense for them to just make it so like the entire furnace object, if you just collided with any part of it, would light. But they decided no, you have to hit the coals on the inside. Like they do not make it easy on you.
All right, who's ready for 2 minutes of in sync
Yep, mashing
cutscene
time.
mashing?
If Zuiivel just bonks the wall real quick, then they'll be synced up going in, and we can really see who's the better masher.
Yeah. Neither runner hookshotted that elevator switch on the walk here.
Yeah, that's a relatively recent thing. I don't know.
Yeah,
Was it you that did that first, or who did that
It wasn't
first?
me. I saw someone do it. I'm not sure,
It
but
was
yeah, I
TFT.
saw it.
I was gonna say it might have been TFT.
Yeah, it was 50.
Does feel like a TFT move.
But yeah, that's another switch that just like, oh yeah, there's a switch there. Sure.
I remember right in the last run, both runners had somewhat spooky gray crows, right? So
Yeah.
maybe they can have a little bit of a better time in this this fight here. Really fun to to have them both synced up like this. It's gonna make the Grey Crow fight really hard to follow.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, so the winner of this match moves on to play TFT, I believe, in the semifinals.
Yep, that's right. It's not in the bracket, but there will be, because I forgot to check off the box. There will be, apparently it's called the bronze match, because they had to decide who third place is for the prize pool.
Oh,
So
sure.
whoever loses the semifinals, the two losers will fight each other, and that would be bronze match, and then whoever wins that would be third place.
Makes sense. Yep. And for those who have not been watching this whole time, this is game 2 of this match. Game 1 went to Shresh, who got a 123 something. This is a best of 3 format, so if Shresh comes out ahead here, that will be the end of the match, and Shresh will move on to the semifinals. If Zuiivel wins, then we will go to a game 3.
Zuiivel getting slightly better RNG here, where Grey Crow is just sitting and screaming repeatedly,
Yeah,
which is
yeah,
great.
that was great.
Wow.
Really nice.
Blitz didn't turn red, and they did turn red right at the end of Grandma, so it looks like he's ahead again.
Yeah, definitely ahead. Ahead about like 15 seconds ish, something like that, maybe a little more. Ooh, Shresh on 1 health. You never quite know. It's not over till it's over. A death here would make this race awful close.
Ah, misses the heavy deflect.
Oh, overall
No.
projectile.
Oh no!
So Shresh is going to have to fight Grey Crow again here. Now the second time around, the fight can often be a lot faster because you get some free hits here. You'll see the Grey Crow kind of sit still and screams at the start of the fight. So
Yeah,
you
just
can often make
recently-
quick work.
Just recently, you were lapping out the fact that you can sometimes skip the first chain phase if you do enough damage quickly enough. It's not anywhere near consistent, but so yeah, you can often the refight is like quite a bit faster, but didn't get it there. It looked like.
I really wonder if like Shresh is like commentating on himself and just commentating cursing himself. like just yeah.
Jeez, Grey Crow just really wants us to go to a game 3 here. There we go, gets the kill. So about 40 seconds ahead of Zuiivel on that kill. So lost a ton of time to that death.
Yeah, it was a very slow one for sure. It was like right at the end of the fight.
So now it really comes down to this gauntlet and Lord of Doors and the execution here. See, I don't think Zuiivel is going to go for anything out of the ordinary here. It's probably going to go for pretty standard safe strats all the way through Gauntlet.
Yeah, he wasn't doing the like heavy strats last round, was he? I don't think so.
I don't think so. We'll see what Shresh opts to do with a pretty slim margin. Might opt to play it safe. 40 seconds is enough if you don't die and you just do everything really safe.
Yeah.
That is enough to carry you to the win, but you do have to not die. But I also don't know whether or not Shresh is keeping an eye and knowing exactly what the distance between the two is. It's probably extra hard because the timers are off sync, and I'm sure Shresh isn't listening to commentary, so I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what Shresh decides to do.
Zuiivel is sneaking in like a heavy there. He did that in the first phase too, like right at the end. It's interesting.
Yeah, didn't get the jump, the full jump skip there.
Mm-hmm.
Did get a jump.
Oh,
Okay,
Yeah, we're
doesn't
fine.
fall at least. Not too bad.
yeah, that's always the worst. It's just you get bodied and then you just fall, take an extra hit of damage.
Oh,
Yeah.
Zuiivel. All right, just has to get through this last little section without getting hit, which can be harder than it sounds. Shresh has already taken a damage as well here at the very start.
That Betty roll, it's always, I do the same thing where it's sort of very intuitive to try and roll away, but if you roll away, you're going to get hit. You have to walk away and then roll to the side when he starts rolling.
Zuiivel does make it through there. So 122.47. So try and keep an eye on when Shresh exits Gauntlet. Shresh going for the fast strats here.
Mm-hmm.
Skips even that first snap that summons the exploding pots. Really well done. Ooh, gets hit though. Starting to get a little spooky.
Yeah, the quick kill strats definitely leave you a lot more vulnerable to taking incidental hits.
I'm doing very safe rolls here. You can see just how angled toward the buses Shresh was there, just to make absolutely certain didn't get hit by those doors.
Still going for them even here.
Zuiivel, meanwhile, pretty clean fight so far. Hasn't taken a hit. Goes for the roll away strats, like one upper casserole.
I only learned that like I was watching comms on my own race, not this one, but the previous one, where Shresh was commentating and saying, "Oh, he's not baiting out backhands," and me watching this back was like, "You can bait out backhands." Because again, I'm like relatively new and did not know this at all.
All right, and Zuiivel gets a 1:24.22. That's a PB. That's a 21-second PB. Really well done by Zuiivel.
Jeez, to Zuiivel. Especially after just like making such a silly mistake to keep the composure together to wrap up the run. Is good to see.
Awesome. Yeah, and Shresh enters or exits Gauntlet at 1:21.57, so about a 50-second lead heading into Lord of Doors, which basically means deathless is a win, dying probably a loss. So Shresh needs to play this cleanly in order to take the W.
Got a little bit spicy last race or last run too, against Lord of Doors. So we'll see.
Very cool to see this come down to the final fight. We're playing it very safe so far. Ooh, let's get one hit there. Little early roll.
Shresh, of course, baiting at backhands, as one does. So it doesn't really make a huge difference. It just, I mean, it's consistent damage, so it's probably worth taking. Because some of his patterns can be difficult to get damage in against.
And takes the win. 123.29. Great run. Great race by both these racers.
Yeah, one of the closest races we've had.
GG's. Let's unmute the runners. Shresh is on first. Shresh, how are you feeling?
Hey, yeah, feeling good. I just saw the time, so I'm still taking it in. Yeah, it was a pretty sloppy run, lots of mistakes everywhere, but I guess I'm glad I clutched it out. After dying to Grey Crow, I was pretty sure that it was over, but I guess it worked out just about.
So, Bill, how do you feel? That's a PB, isn't it?
Yeah, it sure is. It's PB by about 20 seconds. I'm very confused by this run because it had my it started off with my best early game by so much, like a 609 Guardian. That's insane for me, honestly.
Yeah, the early game you were just absolutely zooming.
Yeah, I don't know how I did it, honestly. And then yeah, there was one very silly mistake in Furnace.
Slight hiccup.
Small mistake, and yeah, lost about a minute, but I managed to save it somehow. So yeah, GG Shresh.
Yeah, big GG on the PB. I just saw the
Appreciate it.
Yeah, that was amazing.
There was a death in there, you said? That is amazing.
Not a death.
Not really a death.
Pretty close.
I missed one of the furnaces, and I just rolled off in the furnace, and I had to walk all the way back. I think that's the worst one you can miss. Is it the only one? I'm really not sure.
Yeah.
But kind of painful, I guess. And then
Yeah, in the room with the door. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I had the most incredible Grey Crow fight as well. I don't
Yeah,
know,
it was
yeah, it was
great,
sick.
bro.
I don't know how I pulled that off, but yeah.
But yeah,
Okay.
GG's to both runners. Shreshthanigans will be moving on to the semifinals against TFT, if I'm not mistaken.
sweating, shaking, scared.
Yeah, so get ready for that. That would, I think that will be a Sunday match, but we'll have to reconfirm with the runners. We do have a match tomorrow at the same time, 12:30 EST. We have Museus versus Keypoints, so look forward to that. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you to the runners. Thank you to the commentary. Please check them out. Please check. They all stream. Please check them out. See, I to find someone to raid. I don't think there's any like marathon stuff. Is there any runners? Do you guys see any runners that are on? it looks like is Marcus on?
Not playing Death's Door, but yeah, Marcus is streaming.
We can rate him since he was a runner in the race. Did a good job. Too bad his computer crashed, but he was in the race, so right over to him. And another announcements earlier in the intermission where Seneth mentioned there is, let me read it out again. It's so Team Green Gaming is supporting Clean Air Task Force on October 21st to 24th. Please join the Discord if you're interested in being a charity marathon runner. The links on the forums and stuff to sign up to be a charity marathon runner are on the Discord. So if you want interested in becoming a charity marathon runner, then please join the Discord for Team Green Gaming. All right, thank you all for joining us. Take care, y'all.
Yeah, thank you for racing GG again.